All right, y'all. So good afternoon, Coochie Gang. What's up? Welcome to the monthly. This is the space. This is the podcast advocating for women's reproductive health, women's reproductive issues. I thank y'all for joining in today. I thank y'all for tapping in today. I also thank y'all for all of the love that y'all showed on the blog posts, on the journal entry with medium.com, on the YouTube channel. The YouTube channel done went up. Thank you so much. Thank y'all so much. Twitter, Facebook, everybody. I appreciate y'all so much for all the love that y'all shown. It was quick. It came a little faster than I expected, but I thank y'all for the love. I thank y'all for tapping in, and I thank y'all so much for joining in with me today. Today's episode is entitled, It's Giving Hopeless. And with what is going on right now, I feel like that title was so befitting. So if you tapped in on the last episode, you know that I started this brainchild for the monthly back in February, before we even knew anything about what was going on with Roe versus Wade, even before the documents leaked, before all of that. Now, this episode naturally is about the reproductive conditions that women can face and may potentially have with dealing with their bodies and dealing with their periods. However, I have to put a pin in that because I wouldn't be what I'm supposed to be here at the monthly without addressing the elephant in the room. And we all know what that is right now. As we all know, as of Friday morning, in the entire country, the whole United States, the Roe versus Wade law has been abolished. It has been eradicated. It has been overturned. Why? I don't know. I can't tell y'all. All I know is that this rested on 9 individuals, okay? 9 individuals that was able to have a say-so for pussy all over the country. Excuse my French. I don't know how in the hell. Zuckerberg, I hope you don't get me because it's finna get real raw. But what I'm saying is, like I said last time, how do you have equipment that's different from mine and you are able to approve something that you can't even experience? As of right now, abortion, with certain exceptions, is abolished in this country, okay? And for the ignorant, people tend to think, oh, well, if she didn't wear that, oh, well, if she didn't get high that night, or if she didn't drink that night, she might not have gotten pregnant, and she may not be in this predicament that she's in right now. No, that's not how that works at all. I'm thinking about the 12-year-old girl that her uncle, grandpa, brother, daddy even, unfortunately, been watching, and he assaults her. I'm thinking about the rape victim that was just merely walking out of a shopping center, out of her job, to the parking garage and got sexually assaulted. And now she's faced with the decision, do I keep this or not? Now she doesn't have that right. And for me, what that turns into, because this is just open, a whole can. First, it starts with this. Then they take your voter rights. Then the same-sex marriage, educational rights. It's gonna be a snowball effect because these 9 justices, it was left up to them to make this decision. And I'm pissed because to the 3 black women that serve on the Supreme Court, to the black men, I'm sorry, I said black women, they were just 3 women of different races. But to them and the black man that serves on this Supreme Court and allowed this to happen, first of all, I'm really pissed at these women because you are a woman. You have either birthed, you have either had a family member birth, you've been birthed, and you mean to tell me this don't bother you? In no regard, this doesn't bother you? That's a problem for me. And so this is why I say we continue to fight to end the stigma. All I'm saying is there needs to be some kind of resolve with this. There is no way that this is going to be able to happen and continue to happen if we don't make no headway. We can't just sit here and say that we pissed. We can't just sit here and say, oh, well, I'm mad because X, Y, Z. No, some action for real need to be taken. Some action for real needs to be taken. And so I say all that to say this to my women, to my girls, my young women. Please keep your body in check. Because obviously they don't care enough about our bodies. Abortion is health care. Contraception is health care. And so to rob us of that right is asinine. This is abysmal, archaic, barbaric. And there is no reason why gun laws have more protection than body laws. Because you can't tell me that I can't protect my coochie. You can't tell me that. You can't tell me that. There's no way. I own it. I was born with it, sir. Obviously, you can't. So everything that y'all felt like y'all needed to put into place to cause this mass hysteria, it's rebels out here. I'm one of them. Hi, how you doing? Okay? It's just one of them things. Why is it that there is a reason why we have to even have a debate about something that half or over half the population will never even experience? It's just crazy to me how this is able to be a thing, to be approved, to be passed, to be placed in stone. And because of this now, do you know how the suicide rate is going to go up? Because mentally the woman can't deal because she didn't ask for this? Do you know how many botched abortions are going to come of this? Because we can't rely on our government to look out for us enough to make sure that we are healthy enough. The quality of life is diminished at this point. You've taken away a basic human right. And it's cool to y'all. But it's not cool to us. We not going for that shit. It's just one of them things. We not going for that shit. So, like I said, ladies, young women, govern yourself accordingly. Guard your body. Guard your body. I know they've just made it a little harder for us to go see what the hell is wrong because we don't know it's wrong. All we know is that we hurt. I know that they just made it harder for us to go to the pharmacy and get the next batch of whatever contraceptive that's being used. I know that it's hard for us because you got assaulted by that person and you want to go get the plan B, but you don't think you can walk off in CVS or Walgreens to do it now because they've created that mass hysteria to make us as females live in fear. And that shit crazy to me. This is the endangerment of the female gender. This is clearly endangerment of the female gender. Basic human right. A basic need for quality of life. Gone. Because the powers that be, all they can do is put their pen, they pretty little pen on some paper, and boom, here we go. So y'all know the people that I talked to before today's episode, y'all knew I was finna go off about this. I wasn't finna let this go. I couldn't let this go. I wouldn't be the monthly if I didn't address it. And the original, like I said, episode is about the reproductive conditions and what a woman could potentially have, whether she knows or she doesn't know. But I couldn't even go there without addressing this first. So please, go to your local city officials. Please, go to your local city hall. Please, November, when I don't even know if this is like an election year. However, whenever it's time to vote, do that. Do your research. Do your research. And I know just voting isn't going to be the be-all, end-all, but it's just merely advocating. Because these are our mothers, our sisters, our aunties, our wives. Okay? I meet so many people, complete strangers, that tell me, oh, I know somebody that has that. Oh, my sister has that. Oh, my wife is dealing with this. My daughter is dealing with this. Because it's not just about abortion, okay? It's not just about that. It's an umbrella, a domino effect. It's a trickle down of any and everything that can possibly happen because they've taken this choice away from us. And I need y'all to be very clear. And I'm going to be very clear that you cannot continue to walk through this life without taking some kind of action. And that's just for anything in general. However, with the issue at hand, if you really want something done about it and you really want to get something out there about it, go do something about it. And don't wait on nobody. Even if it's just you marching around with a sign. If it's you sending an email to city officials, to state officials, Greg Abbott, Governor Kevin Stitt of Oklahoma, and I only mention him because that's where I live. And the abortion law there is completely eradicated. I think with the exception of rape and incest, you can't do nothing with nothing out there. So here I am, Governor Greg Abbott, Governor Kevin Stitt. If it was your daughter, your wife, will they have that access because of who you are or not? This goes for all women. All. Capital ALL. Okay? I'm going to leave it at that because I got to get to my meat and potatoes. However, I'm pissed. I need y'all to know that. And I've been going off since Friday. I was at work when I started getting DMs and text messages from the homies telling me that they went on ahead because it wasn't a matter of if they were going to do it, but when they were going to do it. They was just dangling the wind in our faces. So it was honestly just a matter of time before they popped us off. So like I said, guard your heart, guard your body, guard your mind, guard your families, guard your wife, guard your daughters, guard, govern and guard, and stay safe. Ooh, I'm shaking because that, like, for real, it's abysmal. This should not even be, we shouldn't even be having to be talking about this. I should be cussing and fussing about some gun laws, but that don't even apply to my program. That just lets you know how crazy this is that I'm even having to sit here and talk about this shit. But I digress. Like I said, today's episode is entitled, It's Giving Hopeless. And the reason why I entitled this episode that is because me, along with so many other women, have had an issue with their reproductive system, and they're either A, too scared to go talk to somebody about it, as in a healthcare professional, because they don't know, and they just walk through and they just deal with whatever day in and day out, whatever pain that comes, whatever mental issues that comes, they just deal with it. And so here I am to bring all of that to the forefront because we need to know. For 10 years, I didn't know. I stopped taking birth control. I was on the depot shot from the ages of 16 to 19. I went to school at Prairie View. I was even taking the shot there for a little while. And then I stopped taking it. And once it wore off, everything came back with a vengeance. And I didn't know what the hell was going on. And for 10 years after that, I didn't know what was going on. If y'all went to my Medium or y'all went to myblogger.com to see any of those posts, y'all would see that that's what I dealt with for 10 years before I was professionally diagnosed at 29 after having to have a fibroid surgery that I have stage 3, not 1, not 2, but stage 3, endometriosis. And I'm asking, well, what the hell is that? Because I done been to so many doctors that have told me, oh, well, you just need to lose a little more weight. Oh, well, maybe you just need to stop smoking, which is a factor. Tobacco ain't good, and you're dealing with issues like that. However, it wasn't just about that. You were misdiagnosing me, and I know that it's so many other women that deal with that shit. I had a friend snap me last month, told me she's so scared because her current gynecologist literally laughed at her when she told her, I feel something in my pelvis. Is there a way that you can look at it for me? And the woman, she was a female gynecologist, laughed in this lady's face. This woman wants to conceive. She is with her husband, happily married, and they can't figure out why they can't have a baby. And this is why. Because we're misdiagnosed. Black women are the #1 race that are on a table giving birth, whether it's cesarean or natural, that could die because they are misdiagnosed. Or they doctors just don't give a fuck. And that's really what it's about. That's really what it boils down to. You got that insurance. Once your insurance go in, they don't care about nothing else. They got they cut of it. They just here to go into the little bullpen in the ER, go print something off from Google until what they think is going on with you, bring it back to you, discharge you, and here you are a month later. That was me. Back at the ER, dealing with that shit one more again. Because why? I was misdiagnosed. So please, y'all, I know it's a lot of y'all that this is taboo, that this is forbidden to even speak aloud. But I'm here for y'all. DM me. Email me. Call me. I'll do that. We gonna get it out there because it need to be known. Just like everything else, everybody got problems with everything else. This is a problem too. This is a problem too. If you ask me, it's population control. But I'm not even going to get into that. Like I said, today is about the reproductive conditions that a woman can potentially have if they're just hurting and going through harsh periods and just don't know what's going on. So I'll just go from this umbrella. I will give y'all the journey that I personally dealt with to get to the road to let me know, hey, you have endometriosis, sis. It started, again, I took the depot shot. My mom put me on the depot shot at 16. I became sexually active at 16. I took the depot shot from the ages of 16 to the age of 19. So that's 3 strong years, every 3 months, going to get shot up to make sure I don't have a kid out of wedlock or what have you. HPV, whatever. After 19, I became an exotic dancer for another 3 years. My body was at its best then because I'm doing calisthenics. I'm working. I'm on a pole every night, sometimes 12 hours. My body didn't feel what was really going on. So after my 10 years of dancing, I got married. That was about an 8-month gap between me stopping dancing, meeting the person that I married, and I married them in 2015. In 2015, we almost immediately tried to start conceiving. And I couldn't. I couldn't explain why to him because I didn't fucking know. I couldn't explain why. And everywhere I was going, they seemingly couldn't explain why to me, why I was hurting like this. The pain was so severe, y'all. In fetal position, like cramped up, crying, can't go to work, can't do nothing, can't go out, got to cancel trips. All of that. And this is why. So I started with PCOS. PCOS is polycystic ovarian syndrome. Polycystic ovary syndrome. Basically, the ovaries produce abnormal amounts of androgens, which is one of the male sex hormones. So if you raw dogging out here, whatever is going on, and you really not wanting him, stop. Because it's causing a hormonal and chemical imbalance. And with that, you can only be diagnosed physically with that by a doctor. So it's almost a catch-22. So you really have to do preventative maintenance. If you know you don't really want him like that, if you know it's some fly-by-night, you met him at the club, it's going to be temporary, don't make it permanent. Don't shortchange yourself like that. Don't do that, okay? Basically, like I was saying, with polycystic ovarian syndrome, what can happen with that? what you can grab with that as far as symptoms, you're going to have irregular periods. It's going to throw you off. If you used to your period being a regular way and you getting it every month on this date for this amount of days, it can be fucked off. You wouldn't even know you had it because sometimes there's zero symptoms at all. You won't have no indicator to let you know, hey, something is wrong. And this is why I say govern your body. Because if you don't, these are just one of the things. And this is what, like I said, because this is my journey, this was the mildest thing out of the things that I've dealt with this reproductive journey that could happen to you. It could get worse. And I would much rather not see anybody deal with what I had to deal with. Because 10 years is a long damn time. 10 years is a long time to hurt. 10 years is a long time to not know. And you walking in this body, and this body is aging and what have you. 10 years, y'all, I dealt with this. 10 years of turmoil with this just because I didn't know. Just because I didn't know. Hirsutism is also a very common symptom of PCOS, which means hair growth. So chin hair, hair, overly underarm hair, breast hair, that can also grow on you because your hormones are out of whack. So please, once again, please govern yourself. PCOS, like I said, is what I started out with in this journey. And that was in those years after I stopped taking the depot shot and my periods came back with a vengeance. They brought the cysts with them, but for that amount of time, I didn't even know I had this. All I know is, damn, every month, it's getting worse. And I don't know what the hell. However, that was the first, PCOS. I know a lot of y'all might know about this, but I encourage you to go do your own research. I am not a healthcare professional. I am only speaking from my personal experience. And I'm just letting y'all know that this is what it could be. It might not even be in this sequence. Hell, you might not even experience the other 3 or 4 that's commonly known, and it may shoot you straight to endometriosis. And you'll be working one day, and the next day you in the ER, and you don't know why. You don't want to get there. So please, I beg of you, please. Number 2, ovarian cysts, which is what I currently deal with again now. I've had the fibroid surgery. I've had it. I had an 8.6 centimeter and a 7.4 centimeter fibroid on my uterus. 2 of them that had to be removed. My gynecologist, Dr. Donna Duran, she is housed, if she's still in practice, at Hughley Medical right outside of Fort Worth. The lady told me post-surgery that there is a likely possibility that ovarian cysts will come back up with you because your endometriosis is so advanced. It was stage 2 when I got diagnosed. I'm at stage 3 now. And hopefully with my current pain treatment, I can knock those stages back down. But, you know, that's the Most High working right in there. However, with ovarian cysts, what happens when the egg preps for release at ovulation, basically what happens is it gets stuck on the uterine wall. A sac with fluid builds up. And if your diet isn't right, if you're an excessive smoker, if you're an excessive drinker, you can only worsen that. And what happens is that cyst sticks to your uterine wall when the uterine lining should be thinning to get ready for your regular period. And that thing stick. And all the blood and bacteria that come with that sticks and fall on in there. And all it can do from there is grow. And that's where a lot of your pain could potentially be coming from every period that you have. Your cramps ain't normal. Nothing's normal. So go get it checked. The symptoms that come with that is lower abdominal and pelvic pain. You feel fuller quicker when you eating. And that's just regular, not even just on your period. That's just in just regular, any other regular day. You just feel fuller. You're like, why am I so full so quick? I ain't even really eating. That could be potentially the issue. Pain during intercourse. I know you want them to go deep. I know you want them to, I know. But if it's hurting that bad, it's one of 2 things. Either somebody just taught him how to jug, or you have something way deeper going on that needs to be checked. So again, that's where it comes in. Please govern your body. Govern your body. Okay? That's all I'm going to say about that. With that, they can be, these ovarian cysts, they can be benign or malignant. Malignant meaning cancerous. So that's another reason why it's so important to go get your pap smears annually with your doctor. But at the same time, be extremely transparent with your doctor. Hey, I don't feel like you're doing this for me. Hey, I don't feel like this is being done, or I told you this and I don't feel. Be transparent with y'all doctors if you have one, because that's what you pay them to do. That's what they get paid to do. So make sure you cover that. Pain in relation to the bowels as well. Diarrhea, nausea, insomnia, all of that shit is common with these conditions. You may be unaware that, again, that you have a cyst because you're just going through daily life and nothing has formally presented itself, but it's time for your period and you hurting again and you can't go to work, or you had to cancel your trip, or what have you. So again, please just be aware. Please just be aware. Cyst ruptures are real. To this day, well, I won't even say to this day, because in this last month has been the first time for me in 12 years that I've never experienced any form of pain because I didn't have a cycle, because I'm on this pain treatment that I'm currently on. However, cyst ruptures are real. Basically, the cyst wall bursts and all that blood and that bacteria I was telling you about releases into your bloodstream in your body, making you sick, making you nauseous and the like. Go get checked, ladies. PMDD, premenstrual dysphoric disorder. This messes with the mind. It's physical, very much so, but it messes with the mind. Basically, it's a more severe form of PMS, which is just premenstrual syndrome. And basically what happens is it's behavioral symptoms that mix in with those physical symptoms that you're dealing with. So 3-4 days before your cycle, I don't know why it's fuck him and fuck this job and I don't know why. And then 3-4 days later, boom, here come your cycle. Oh, well, that's why I was tripping out like that. It's a mental thing too. It really is. Basically, per the Mayo Clinic, it says it causes extreme mood swings that disrupts work and potentially damages relationships. It includes physical and behavioral symptoms that usually resolve within the onset of your menstrual cycle. Okay? The symptoms are extreme sadness, anxiety, panic attacks, hopelessness. It's giving hopeless. That's why that's why this episode was named what it was named. Hopelessness, depression, suicidal thoughts. Your period, dog, making you feel like you want to jump a cliff? Really? Really, it's real. Fatigue, lowered energy, difficulty concentrating. You in so much pain. Oh my God. Because that's how I'm ready to leave. I'm ready to clock out now. I'm ready to do this right now. Because I can't deal. Food cravings, all of that shit, irritability, anger. You lashing out at people you shouldn't even be lashing out at because of this. The cause is thought to be abnormal reactions to hormonal changes every cycle. So every month, this can change for you. Basically is what I'm saying. There's a serotonin deficiency. We all know that serotonin is the calm me down, the happiness hormone that's supposed to flow through your body. And you're not getting that because your brain is triggering and it's making you do X, Y, Z. It can be cured, they say, through lifestyle changes. Like I was telling you, the doctor was trying to tell me, lose the weight or stop doing this. Sometimes it don't really take that. And this is why I'm so hell-bent on having herbalists and things like that of that nature on my show, because there has to be an alternative way that we can deal with this where we don't have to pop a bunch of pills, or we don't have to solely rely on a doctor to tell us what it is that we need to do. PMDD is classified as a disability. Please don't let nobody tell you different. Per the Equality Act of 2010, PMDD is a physical disability. And your job, your employer is responsible for accommodating you in that. So if these are severe symptoms, and like I said, y'all can fact check me. I'm with all of that. John Hopkins, the Mayo Clinic, these are where my resources are coming from with this. I did extensive research on this. And I'm telling you, you can be helped with that. Please don't let nobody tell you no different. Please don't let nobody tell you no different. The fourth one that I got, of course, is what I'm dealing with right now, and that's endometriosis. It is a disorder in which tissue similar to the uterine lining, so that means it can camouflage as what's supposed to be going on with your period at that time when the uterine lining is supposed to be thinning and it's really thickening. And that shit grows outside of your uterus. Adenomyosis is its evil stepsister. Because while it's growing in your uterine lining, adenomyosis grows outside. So that affects your kidney. It can affect your liver. It can affect your bowels, any of that. And that's why they say don't smoke. That's why, cigarettes and things of that, don't vape and things of that nature. Per womenshealth.com, the cause is said to be retrograde menstrual flow. Tissue being shed during your normal cycle flows through the fallopian tubes. It's not supposed to do that. It's not supposed to do that at all. That's not normal. That's abnormal, like it says. The excessive menstrual cramps that you receive, the heavy menstrual flow, you bleeding harder than normal, the painful urination, nausea, the constipation, the diarrhea, all of that can be clear indicators of endometriosis. There are 4 different stages. Minimal is stage 1, mild is stage 2, moderate is stage 3, and severe is stage 4. I think the most high, I didn't get to 4 because 4 is pretty much triggering cancer of the cervix, cancer of the uterus. It's real when it gets to that point. So y'all had to know. Stage 3 spooked me. I got diagnosed with stage 2. Fam didn't even say stage 1. She said stage 2. I started with stage 2, which means stage 1 passed me up probably in those years in my 20s when I wasn't knowing what was going on with my body. So please, y'all, if you can help it, please cover your body. I can't stress that enough. There's also categories that go along with endometriosis as well. Category 1 is peritoneal. Category 2 is ovarian, which is what I have. And then categories 3 and 4 is the deep infiltrated endometriosis, which is DIE1 and DIE2. And when it's there, you're literally having to have care monthly. You're having to go into a specialist on a monthly basis to make sure you're not about to get up out of here and die because your reproductive system is in so much peril. So please, ladies, if you have a doctor already, please go see your doctor. If you're in fear or think that you may have these issues, still go. Because again, they get paid to do this. This is their job. They're taking your insurance with no problem. You should be able to tell them what you got going on with no problem. It should not ever be an issue. This is your body we talking about. It should not ever be an issue. Ever. As I conclude this episode, I'm going to let y'all know the research that I did. And I only did it on Texas and Oklahoma. Texas because that's where I'm from. That's where my family is. This is where all the people that I love, for the majority, the women that I love, they reside here. I only targeted Texas and Oklahoma because, again, Texas is what that is, and Oklahoma is where I currently reside. And as of June the 3rd, when I did and completed the research for this episode, the Texas abortion law, which is Senate Bill 8, per Governor Greg Abbott, it prohibited abortions whether there was an ultrasound that they could detect a fetal heartbeat. It takes 8 weeks to conceive a baby. You telling me at week 7, you can't even give me a plan B or anything if it was an unwanted pregnancy? 4 weeks in? 4 weeks. Women don't even realize until 2 months or somewhere down the line that they may even potentially be pregnant. That 4 weeks is the missed period and all of that. So there's no time for a woman to go to Planned Parenthood or the like to see what's going on. So y'all basically saying at inception, there's nothing that can be done about that because we've abolished this law. Senate Bill 4, again, on June 3rd, as of June 3rd, again, this is null and void now because Friday gave us and threw us a whole nother loop. But they did allow healthcare providers up until week 7 to prescribe any type of medicative abortion choices. You don't even get that no more now. In Oklahoma, as of June 3rd, per Governor Kevin Stitt, and this is why I say both of their names, because these two states have the harshest abortion laws at this time. Even before Friday, you had to travel somewhere else for this to happen. I have a friend whose baby came mad early, very preemie baby, but before that, she was in the back and forth of whether to get rid of the baby or not. But because of these, she lives in Texas, and because of these laws, she kept her baby. She made her choice. Again, it's your body, your choice. She made the choice. And that's the choice we should be able to make. We shouldn't be forced, which is what we are at this point. It's forceful now. Again, I keep hearing people mention that Hulu series, The Handmaid's Tale. I did not go past season 1. However, what it's looking like, if we don't take some kind of action, it could potentially be that in our probably not too distant future. So please, I beg of y'all. Please, I beg of y'all. Do your research. Govern your body. Talk to your doctor. Find you a doctor. To my black women, if you can find you a black doctor, do that. Whatever makes you more comfortable. To all my women, whatever makes you comfortable, whatever's supposed to make you comfortable, you do that. That is your right and your choice. Even though they claiming they're going to do this, because one or two things is going to happen. This is going to remain set in stone, or they're going to make this a way to make it monetized. Where you got to go through so many loops and hoops to even get an abortion. And that shit ain't fair. That shit ain't right. This should just be a choice. Like if I want Pepsi or Coke. It should be a choice. So please, ladies, I love y'all enough to let y'all know what I dealt with. Because maybe this will blow a speaker in your ear to be like, well, damn. I might not ever talk to a friend or nobody else that I love about this, but I could go see my doctor. Because you owe that to yourself. You are needed, you are loved, you are wanted. And why would you want something that you're not knowledgeable about with your body to take you out and take you down? You deserve that. You're deserving of that. We are women. To be quite frank, if it wasn't for us, we wouldn't have non-justices to feel like they can make a decision like that on a body. A body they'll never meet in person. Because what they're trying to make it like is that we're just a number. Everybody. So I love y'all. Y'all have all my socials. If you have not yet, please go take the monthly Lady Ma'am quiz. It is on my Chris at the Monthly Facebook page. I will put the link wherever it needs to be placed. It is still at the monthly for all of my socials. You can DM me. My email is themonthly@gmail.com. I'm here. Let me know. If you don't feel comfortable with nobody, to say this to nobody, to talk to nobody, you wouldn't even imagine how many DMs I've received from complete strangers because I'm trying to cultivate a space where a woman can feel safe. That's the mantra, that's the creed. That's what I'm all about. Seriously. Ladies, govern yourselves accordingly because this shit getting real tight real quick. And because of the uncertainty of everything, we got to make sure our heads is on a swivel. Point blank, period. Point blank, period. So I love y'all. I'll be back at y'all next month with another episode. I'm going to have my friend, the Fort Worth doula goddess, Kenya Walker, on the show. She just got certified as a black doula with the Black Doulas Association of America. She has delivered 7 doula babies. She is extremely experienced. I've gotten questions about holistic birth and other options for birth outside of the hospital. I'm going to have her on the show next month so she can drop her gems and show y'all her love. I love y'all. I see y'all next month. Later.